Hey everybody, I'm Madelyne Woods and this is Mixed Company. My guest today is the actor, the heartthrob, the singer, songwriter, Leon. I don't even know what to start with. Five Heartbeats, The Temptations, your music's going on now. Let's start with the very beginning because everybody knows you and loves you from your acting career. Take me back to JT. Do you still get recognized? Do you still get love for that role from Five Heartbeats?
Five Heartbeats has become, an iconic movie in people's eyes. There's no place I go, someone's not talking about the Five Heartbeats.
It's a classic now.
And I guess AOL voted as the #1 African American film.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, ahead of The Color Purple.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I guess a movie that didn't do well at the box office just really resonated with people's hearts, especially our people.
20 years later.
They love it. They watch it at, family reunions,
Thanksgiving,
holidays.
Right.
So, and for me, I just feel blessed because to make anything, a movie or anything that resonates with people for generations and generations to come is all you can ask for.
That's what's so funny because I know grandmas and mamas and aunties and daughters and, everybody still loves this film. It's like the bar has been set in black cinema excellence by Five Heartbeats.
Yeah,
Did you
people love
expect it to do that well?
We thought the movie was going to do great, and so did 20th Century Fox. They put us on private jets.
Wow.
We were on covers of magazines. The problem was that they had not marketed a film with 5 black men before.
Yes.
And they didn't know how to. And Robert kept telling them we need to be on, bus signs and on street things because that's where our people see us.
Exactly.
They had us on the cover of Esquire magazine, Interview, because the movie tested higher than Home Alone. So
Then Home Alone?
Yes.
20 years ago, that was like a blockbuster.
Exactly. But they knew how to market that.
Yeah.
But this was a different situation, so they didn't have us there. And so therefore our people didn't know about the movie, and then they waited too long to release the trailer because Robert Townsend and his studio were arguing about what the trailer should be, and they put 5 guys with their hair conked and stuff like that, dancing.
In a shiny suit.
Right, so young people and New Jack City just come out. Young people looking like that. So what's that?
Yeah, that's
ain't
whack.
happening.
That's whack.
No, what they should have shown was Big Red hanging my man out the window.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
They want to see conflict. They want to
the
see
drama.
that. So
yeah.
but things are what they are, and people love the film to this day. It's
Till
just
this
amazing,
day.
and it's just I feel blessed that I was a part of it.
It's funny because you've taken a couple of roles where you actually got to sing, and that's actually why you're here with me today because we're going to talk about your new music.
Yeah.
But Five Heartbeats, you got to sing as JT. Did you sing your own?
No, all the singers were cast before the actors.
Oh man.
Yeah, Robert had found these street singers and people and other singers that he knew that he cast. And then he put the movie together with the actors.
Well, who was that guy? Because I'm going to tell you, that made me fall in love with JT. That guy and his voice, and he hit those notes. Do you know who that guy was? That sang?
We met all our voices beforehand.
You just don't remember?
But yeah, I just don't remember. And, the hard part about it is the acting, is to make it your voice.
Right. To make it look like you're really singing when it's being dubbed in.
Exactly. So, the thing is, when you see me, I am singing, but you're hearing that other voice. Because when you do a movie with music, you have to always pre-record.
Yes.
It has to be. And the selling point with most movies, especially if it's a biopic of a real person, is that original remastered soundtrack. Like when I did The Temptations.
I was just going to say.
The biggest selling point in that movie is that you're having the remastered masters of these great songs, and so because people love these songs and they want to hear those songs with those singers, you know what I'm saying?
When you did The Temptations, what was your favorite song to perform to?
Wow, my favorite song to perform to in The Temptations. It's tough. Because there was it's for different reasons. Like I love performing Beauty's Only Skin Deep. One, because I love that song. And 2, it was at that point in the movie, we were celebrating, a big kind of like comeback, and it allowed me to be creative on the set. So I got to pick out the woman that I went into in the audience that I danced with, right?
Yeah.
And it was very funny because they had already picked out several women for me to do it, and all of them were the best looking women in the room.
Of course.
Right, and I said, no. I said, you see that old lady right there?
Oh.
that's who I want to dance with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was beautiful.
And it was like it worked out perfectly, you know. So, yeah, so I love doing that. But I mean, you know, also when you do a movie that's a biopic, it's actually someone walked and talked on this earth. And if they were famous, there are iconic moments that if you get to recreate, it's pretty exciting. And so for me, being on the Ed Sullivan Show and doing My Girl,
Really?
you know, and with, you know, with those dance steps in precision and
Yes,
stuff like that,
yes.
I felt like I was recreating history. You know, so that was exciting for me as well, especially when I saw the movie put together and it was the Ed Sullivan Show, and I'm like, wow, okay.
I have to give it to you because you guys were so believable. All of you channeled your characters so perfectly. You really would have believed that you guys were the Temptations. It was
Let me tell
well
you something.
done.
I thought
well done.
everyone, I'm just so proud of every one of my castmates in that movie. I thought everyone was equally as good as I was. And I thought everyone just did a great job in the movie.
I miss movies like that.
Yeah.
You know, when I think about that, what you did with those two, I have to go back to Cool Runnings. What was that like? Was that your first movie or first major movie?
No. Cool Runnings wasn't my first major movie. It was probably my most successful movie as the lead actor in this major studio film, and did very well around the world. And yeah, it was great. You know, it was great to be in you know, in Jamaica filming for 2 months. It was great to, you know, just be part of something that, you know, people were actually rooting for, you know, underdog stories. And,
Always.
And fish out of water stories. People always gravitate to
Yeah,
them. Because everyone
yeah.
can imagine what it's like to be the only person of your kind someplace.
Yeah, and in a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just there trying to compete, and you realize, you look around, there's nobody here like me at all.
Me.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
is that where your love for reggae, because your new band, Leon and the Peoples, we're going to talk about that in a minute, it has a reggae, soulful, hip-hop almost, or pop
yeah,
sound?
I would say probably, you know, reggae, soul, if anything, more pop. Yeah, we play music for the people.
Is that where it started for you, though, doing that movie Cool Runnings in Jamaica?
No, what happened with me is that, you know, I've always loved reggae music. From the time, my first time when I was 13 years old, I heard Naughty Dread album by Bob Marley, and I didn't know what that was. And
But it moved you, it spoke
I was
to
like,
you.
I just and I went out and researched every, you know, reggae artist from Junior Biles to Jimmy Cliff to Yellow Man, and I just knew it. Oh, I became like an encyclopedia. And so what happened is I became famous as an actor. My love for reggae music was very evident. So they would ask me to MC a lot of festivals, I mean, from here to Jamaica to Japan.
Wow.
And you know, so I'd be around the top, you know, reggae artists, like, you know, someone I've done 4 tours with, Beres Hammond, and, you know, Maxi Priest, and so many others. And,
Wow. I mean, you got major names there.
and they would always say, you know, we would always be singing a cappella in the back, whatever, and they were like, you know, you should sing, not because you need to, because you want to, because you can. And I was like, so I wound up being part of a band in New York with some great musicians that played for Steel Pulse and UB40 and Bruce Springsteen, and it was fun. But, you know, they were doing covers, and I wanted to do original music. That's how I
Okay.
started the Peoples.
And why didn't you ever consider, or did you consider, solo? I mean, because you came right out with a band. You never thought about just doing your own thing?
No.
You've always been a leading man. You've always been a heartthrob. You've always been the center of attention. And I guess even with the band now, because you're the lead singer. But why not just come out and command that stage by yourself?
You know, I think that, one, I grew up on band music, and I loved bands. So I saw myself as, you know, someone that would lead a band, but, you know, not as a solo artist. I thought being a solo artist would be very typical for me. You know, someone that people consider to be, you know, a leading man, sexy. He's going to come out and sing some, you know, sexy R&B songs for the ladies, and you know, right. And that's, I think, a lot of people. That's what a lot of people thought of me, and I think that's what's really throwing people off. But it seems to be more of a pleasant surprise. They'll hear my music and go, "Oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. So I mean, I think I've never ever tried to walk the path of others.
So
I mean, and believe me, to a fault. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do need to walk the path of others. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so dead set on like creating my own path or not being the same as other people.
And being unpredictable.
Yeah, that, you know, sometimes maybe I need to just, you know, walk down some streets that
And conform?
Yeah,
No,
you know.
don't do that.
No, I mean, just a couple of them just to get to the individual street.
Talk to me about your sound again. We talked about it's kind of reggae, it's kind of pop, it's unexpected. The first single, Beautiful, it's a great song. It's a fun song, though, and you're right. I was surprised by it. I know the album is going to be about relationships, but it's not really about romantic or love relationships, or it's love relationships as far as when you think about true love between friends and between family and between people that you care about.
Exactly.
Not so much romantic.
Yeah, well, no, there's a lot of romantic love on the record. I mean, but it covers all types of love, and like you said, it's like, you know, it's that real kind of love, the love you have for your brother, your sister, you know, even your spouse, because that's, you know, as you know, you've been married for a long time. You know, everything is not romantic over 19 years. You know, this is real stuff there.
That's true. It's true.
You know, but no matter what's going on between the two of you, just like your sister, your mother, you always love them. There's some relatives that hate each other right now, don't talk, whatever. But truth comes out, they take a bullet for them because we always love them
every time.
And I think that that's the kind of love that the record talks about. You know, overall, it encompasses all the different types of love, romantic love as well as that real love, not the kind of love where you slobber on a pillow with someone for 5 years, go through deaths and families, whatever, and next thing you know, because you're not sleeping together, you don't know where that person is in the world.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. So many times we throw our relationships away, and I think that's an enormous loss. I mean, we invest our time and we go through certain points of our lives with people. I always want to stay connected to those people. I always want to know how they're doing. I always want to be friends with them. These people know me better than most people ever get to know me, maybe even more than the person that's with me. So why would you throw that away?
I think love is life. I mean, just listening to you talk about it and experiencing it myself, I know love is life. Can you talk about some of the lyrics from Beautiful?
Yeah, sure.
Can you sing a little bit of Beautiful for me?
Oh, man, I don't know. It's a little early, but let me see. Beautiful. Tell your mother, tell your brother, tell your sister, she's so beautiful. Don't forget to tell your baby mother, she's so beautiful. I think first thing I wrote in that song was the hook, and I wanted to make sure that I tried to encompass all the people that are immediately around you. You know, and the song is not about so much people being beautiful, it's about telling people that they're beautiful and not being afraid of it. You know, there are people in our lives that we wouldn't be the same without them, you know, starting with our parents. And there's nothing wrong with telling them that they're beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, they're beautiful for the things that they gave you. They're beautiful for the things that they are to you, you know. And I think so much of our problems in life is that we don't want to give it up to one another.
Oh, wow.
You know, we don't want to walk around and tell the people in their lives that they're beautiful and that we love them for who they are.
Yeah.
You know, not for who we want them to be, but
So-
for who they actually are.
So it's more an expression of gratitude, validation,
Appreciation. Yes.
Yeah. So much of what we need today in society's climate, of what we're living through right now.
Oh, yeah.
We really don't get that a lot right now. Are you very political? Do you think this song will strike people from a political perspective in trying to mend people back together or bring love back in relationships?
You know, I don't know. I never looked at it as a song that would strike people in a political way.
When I listened to it, I really thought about Marvin Gaye, and I thought about how some of his music is so relevant today still. I mean, the lyrics of it.
Very much
and that's
so.
why I asked you to talk about the lyrics, because people connect with words. And when you have a song that speaks to you and it's melodic and it's fun and it's catchy and you remember it, it can change your whole perspective for the day. And so many people are walking around struggling right now. Many people are walking around angry right now. And I think when Beautiful gets in heavy rotation and we really know this song, it could definitely impact people like what's going on. with Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, no, well, that'd be fantastic. But, the real thing is, I think, just, the one thing that I've always, this is our second record, our second album, our first one on the record label. And people have always said about our music is that we play music that makes you feel good, music that makes you think, and makes you move your butt. But but that's also part of being happy. But music that just feel good music. For me, music has always been something that's made me feel good.
Yeah.
And so when I make music, I want to make music that makes you feel good. It may make you think, but it doesn't make you necessarily think in a negative way. And so I think there's so much negativity out there that a lot of people come back to me saying, wow, it's refreshing to listen to your music, and I'm like, that's great.
How many songs will be on the album?
11 songs on the record.
Okay.
Yeah, the record's going to come out probably the third week of April.
In 2018?
2018, because
Okay.
there's so many songs in there that are right for spring. The next single we have coming out is one that everyone's most excited about.
Which one is that?
It's called Sometimes I Wish I Was Single.
Oh.
And
That
we
sounds
actually
like trouble.
And actually have Jimmy Buffett singing on it as well. He heard it and was to beg me to sing on it, and so I was like, this is one of these songs where it's like people just go crazy. And the concept of the song is, I think of people a lot. And I said, I wonder, and it was a song I said, sometimes everybody wishes they were single.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Now,
I cannot.
No. Now hear me out on this. When I say sometimes, I'm talking it could be 10 minutes out of the day.
Yeah.
It could be when your girlfriend asks you to go to, St. Croix, and your husband's like, hell no, or you get tickets to, front row to All-Star game, and you're supposed to go to your mother-in-law's house, and she ain't having it. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Right. I'm not talking about.
It's just that fleeting thought about like.
Right, and the thing is, what's really, when you do hear the song, eventually you're gonna realize that it's the title is just kind of a bad boy way of letting you know it's a love song. Oh, the song is a love song because basically what it says that sometimes I wish I was single so we can go back to the day that we met and we can meet up and mingle somewhere and fall in love all over again.
Oh, see, lyrics.
You know what I'm saying?
Lyrics, that's
right.
lovely.
So what happens?
Oh, man.
Yeah. So what happens is that people immediately get attracted to a title, and they hear the hook, and the hook is there, but the whole hook they realize it winds up being a love song. Because at some point, I do wish that I was single sometimes so I could go hang out with the boys or do whatever.
Yeah.
But I never wish I was single enough where I don't want to be with you.
Oh, man, I love that. I see why you were such a heartthrob. I see why women love you so much. And that's what's so funny about you. You have so many different facets. You are a sex symbol. You're a fashionista. Do you work at this? Do you have a stylist? Why do you look so good?
I don't know, but thank you very much. No, fashion's something that I've always been into. Growing up in New York, I kind of like grew up in a very fashion scene. A lot of my friends were designers, went to FIT, and so I was just always grew up in that world. So I was always just able to create my own kind of style, and even when I have worked with stylists and stuff, for the most part, they basically facilitated what I was trying to do, as opposed to what they were trying to do, and so. I think that how you look, what you wear, is a big representation of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell people all the time. I talk to young kids. I said, don't just wear things that you see everyone else wearing, because that means you're saying to everyone else, I'm no different than anyone else.
And I
You
can't
know what I'm
think of
saying?
myself.
Yeah. So it's like you may put some stuff together that might be considered a little whack, but you're developing your style.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To one day you're going to figure out this is me, and you're going to present yourself to the world, whether it's how you dress, how you look, your hair color, whatever.
You're talking like a daddy now.
I am a
You're
daddy.
talking like a daddy. What's that like? She's 18?
She just turned 18, my
Yeah.
Noelle, it's very strange for me because people have watched her grow up on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and for me being a very private person, that's kind of weird.
I bet.
It's very strange. I'm a person, I don't know how many movies, 30-some-odd movies and awards and everything else, and people walk up to me and go, oh, you're Noel's daddy. I'm like, oh, that's what I am now. Okay.
That's right. I do the same thing. I always tease my daughter because whenever we're walking together, I'm invisible. Everybody is zoomed in on my daughter, and I'm like, well, I'm here. Hello. But it changes. It's just like you pass the torch.
Oh, no, that's great. I'm not passing the torch. Hopefully I'm creating a flame.
Oh, my gosh. Musician, daddy, songwriter, fashion guru or fashion stylist. There's so much to you. Let's talk about your health. You are the picture of health. You're fit. Your skin looks good. Your eyes look good. Your hair looks good.
Thanks.
And we're not young.
You called me on a good day.
Did I?
Yeah.
We're not young anymore. What is your secret? What's your regimen?
Well, for one thing, you're as young as you feel. And in my business, as young as you look.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, I just keep things consistent. There's always a sport in my life that I'm very active in. I grew up playing basketball, very serious basketball player. I got a basketball scholarship,
Really?
played some pro ball in Europe, so I used to play basketball on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
And just, workout, not crazy, just work out to stay in shape. Now it's tennis. I am strictly a tennis player, and I play as often as possible, and maybe too often because that's why my shoulder hurts.
That's interesting. But you have some height. You don't really see tall tennis players.
No, actually, no. Tennis players are very
Really?
tall. Matter of fact, I have some friends that are on the tour, so I get to go down to the U.S. Open on Players Credentials and the Miami Open, and I'm in the gym working out with these guys, and these guys are bigger than me, much bigger than me. Yeah, the new style tennis player.
I love it.
Is 6'6", 6'5".
Stop.
These guys are
My
beasts.
gosh.
They are beasts.
And they have the quickness and the agility on the court.
or
and-
everything.
Wow.
So it's really amazing. It's really amazing.
What do you enjoy most? Again, musician, actor, and not just actor, film actor, stage play actor.
Yeah, well, I train on the stage, so doing stage is always fun for me. Always, it's the only, if I'm anything, I'm a storyteller. That's how I consider myself, a storyteller. And so, in theater, is the only time you can tell people a complete story from beginning to end within like a 2-hour period. When I'm doing a film or television, we're shooting one scene here, one scene there. I may shoot my death scene, the first scene, and then it all gets put together. With a play, you're actually taking people through a
entire
whole story in a matter of, anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. And the immediate response is just like nothing beats it.
Well, I kind of know when to end. I recognize a good end note when I hear it. The record comes out April 2018.
Right.
It's
April
Leon and the
2,
Peoples.
That's the album, and the single's out now.
And the single Beautiful is out now. What's the title of the record of the album?
Love is a Beautiful Thing.
Love is a Beautiful Thing. Thank you so much, Leon, for stopping by.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you for joining us on Mixed Company. We'll see you next time.